All right. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us for the City of Grovetown work session, which will be followed by our regular council meeting at 6:30. Our work session is held, it's a less formal proceeding. It's designed to be a more intensive review and discussion of items that are currently on the agenda, and it's a last chance for staff and the council to ask questions, get some clarifications. There's no votes taken during the meeting. We will do that at 6:30. Also, for those of you that are in the audience this evening, if you have any citizens' comments, there are forms on the back there. If you'd fill them out and just bring them up and give them to Bradley there. Bradley. Then during the session, we will allow you to speak and answer your questions as best we can. So I do say we have a quorum. We do have a quorum, so I'll call the meeting to order. With that, we're going to jump down to item 6, the financial statement given by City Administrator, Assistant City Administrator, and our Finance Director, Mr. Bradley Smith.
Please don't promote me. I'm not ready for that. So I like what I'm doing. And so if you'll see in front of you tonight, you will see the financial highlights as of August 31st. You'll note that our ideal remaining percentage should be about approximately 83%. You'll note 2 of our funds are below that number. You'll note that the general fund and the water and sewer fund are below that number. However, that's not really something that I'm too concerned with right now. The reason being, especially with the general fund, we are still paying out for the construction of the depot. We actually did have another invoice come in for our final invoice for the Hurricane Helene cleanup. So we are excited that, matter of fact, Mike Woods signed off on our submission for Category A reimbursement today. Category A is the largest of the portions, so it's a little over $1.2 million. About $1,050,000 of that will be under the 100% reimbursement. The remaining $150,000 will be under the 75% reimbursement, also to be covered by the additional 25. So the full amount will be covered. However, it will be in 2 separate submissions. So Mike at Woods was able to submit that today. So we're hoping to receive our funds within the next few months. It'll have to go through their long, lengthy review and approval process. But in the next few months, we hope to get those funds back. The primary reason for the dip in the water and sewer fund right now is just repairs and maintenance. Nothing that is unforeseen, it's just a timing issue. So not concerned by it by any means, but so we are in good financial position as of now, but are looking forward to receiving our FEMA funds back. The SPLOST funding, as you can see, is continuing to go up. So again, all of our SPLOST funds and T-SPLOST funds, you will see a dip in the T-SPLOST funds in the coming month. We did have our second payment and second draw on the Harlem Grovetown Road repaving project just this past week. So you will see a significant amount of those funds go out next time around when we come back together in a month from now. But barring anything else, is there any questions from Mayor and Council? No? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bradley. Sir. All right, you'll see on the agenda, we're going to skip number 7, Employee of the Month. That'll be covered during the regular meeting, as well as the Vietnam Veterans Recognition and the Business Spotlight. Once again, I'll highlight citizens' comments. If anybody has any, we ask that you fill out the form and present it to Mr. Smith, and then we'll answer those. For those of you that are on Facebook, I know some of y'all will leave comments. Please continue to do so. They will be answered within 24 hours or so by our PIO, or he will forward it to the appropriate director as needed. Number 11, general business old, we have none, so we'll skip to item number 12, general business new. 12 alpha, it's recommended approval to create 1 streets and sanitation right-of-way and sign technical position grade 12 with a new job description. And our human resources director, Mr. David Tolson. Sir?
Well, good afternoon, everyone. This is, if I can bring your attention back to this year's budget process. This is a position that Mayor and Council approved during the budget process. We are now presenting this job description to go along with that new position so that we can continue to move forward with getting that implemented, advertised, interviewed, and hired.
Mr. Tolson, I know we did approve this along with the budget, but just refresh my memory if you don't mind. these duties that are being outlined for the person who will fill this spot, is this an expansion of duties from things that had to be performed before? Or is it, I'm trying to get at some of the duties as I read them were probably being done before. Who was doing that and what was the real need for the expansion?
All of these duties were required, and most of these duties were being done, but it was kind of a hodgepodge here and there, and it was more reactive than proactive. This position will be proactive and reactive when necessary in maintaining our signs, our sidewalks, easement, visibility, going in and out of driveways, excuse me, side roads, that sort of thing. It gets it all into one person's responsibility so that we can get that person, whoever it may eventually be, some more specialized training so that will be able to, again, we continue to rise toward our future and make sure that we have it correct the first time.
Okay, understand. Thank you, sir.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you. Item 12B, recommend approval of memorandum of understanding between City of Grovetown and Augusta Locally Grown to organize and operate a farmer's market and online pickup location. Our city administrator, Ms. Elaine Matthews.
Yes, I had this request from a member of the Garden Club for this memo of understanding, and my understanding was that they were to help people who are less fortunate and not able to have access to fresh vegetables. The lady was supposed to be here at 6, and so I'm going to ask that you table this at this time until we get a clear understanding of what they're asking us to do.
Okay.
Thank you.
All righty. We have director's report, which we'll cover during the regular meeting, and then we have a closed session, and then that'll wrap it up. So anybody have any final questions or comments? No. All right, with that being said, call adjournment to our working session. We will reconvene at 6:30 here to begin our regular council meeting.
We got a lot of time to wait today.
Oh, for the minutes from last meeting.
All right. Well, good evening. Welcome to the Monday, September 8th, City of Grovetown Council meeting. I'd like to call the meeting to order, and I will announce that we do have a quorum. I ask at this time that you all stand as Councilman Richard Bowman gives the invocation, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you all. Father, we ask you this evening to look upon us with favor. Give us the wisdom and the knowledge to address the issues for this great city that you've allowed us to reside in, to make the right decisions that will help us to make the life and times of the citizens of this city greater, more pleasurable, and certainly to give you glory. We thank you for all the favors that you have bestowed upon us this day, and we tell you in advance that we thank you for those favors that we know you have stored up for us and are yet to come. We ask this in your precious name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all.
Thank you there, Mr. Bowman. Appreciate it. Thank you all for joining us here this evening, and thank you all that are joining us on Facebook Live. We appreciate it. Prior to getting started, I want to say if anybody here that's in the audience wants to make a comment or desires to speak, there are these little forms that are in the back table. I ask that you fill out and give to Mr. Smith there. He's waving his hand. And then we'll, during the citizen comment portion of our meeting, we'll address them and allow you to speak, answer your questions if possible. For those of you that are on Facebook, I know some of y'all make comments under the meetings that's being live streamed right now. We may or may not get to those comments, but I can tell you that within the next 24 hours that our PIO, Jordan, will get them addressed, and if he can't address them, he will forward them to the appropriate director for action. So without further ado, can I get a motion for the approval of the agenda?
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I make a motion to approve the agenda from the August City Council meeting.
I'll second it.
All right, is there any discussion? All right, all those in favor, please signify by your vote. All right, motion approved. The agenda is approved. Can I get a motion to approve the August 11th, 2025 regular minute meetings?
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem,
Meeting minutes, I'm sorry.
okay. I make a motion, we approve the August the 11th regular meeting minutes.
I'll second that motion.
All right, is there any discussion? All right, without hearing anybody, cast your vote. All righty, thank you.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
I realized that my motion was really addressing the minutes from the previous meeting and not the agenda for tonight's meeting. Do we need to take another vote on that?
Yeah, let's back up. All right.
I apologize for that.
All right, so let's try this one more time. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I make a motion, we approve the agenda.
We have a second.
I'll second that.
All right, any discussion on that? All right, all in favor, please signify. All right, thank you.
Mr. City Attorney, are we legal now? All right.
All right, item number 5, committee reports. First one's public safety. I'm going to defer that to Chief Kitchens and Chief Kent. They'll be covered during the director's report. So we'll move on to the next one, utility building and utility services. Councilwoman Soretta Smith.
Good evening, everyone, and to everyone that's watching on Facebook. This report reflects September. The Utility Services Water Department, they performed 143 utility locates, completed 95 trash can service orders, performed 853 other service orders, performed 34 histories, repaired 17 water leaks, 7 water meters were replaced, 2 water flow and pressure tests were conducted, 47 high-usage door hangers were passed out to customers. Trudeau Trail Water Pumping Station has been switched over from a portable to a permanent generator. That's awesome news. It will now switch over to generator power automatically when needed. Utility Services Supervision toured the depot to observe underground water and sewer piping prior to it being buried. Our stormwater department, they cut grass at 10 retention ponds. They worked very extensively on fence and growth at these retention ponds, especially the one on Independence Way. They cleaned out 2 storm drains. For wastewater, they spent 16 hours cutting grass around the wastewater treatment plant, lift stations, and offices. They began utilizing diesel fuel trailer to supply fuel to generators around the city instead of the fuel vendor, which gave us a cost savings of approximately 70 cents per gallon. That's a whole lot during these times. Water treatment plant, we discharged 25.6 million gallons of treated wastewater to Butler Creek, used 28.4% of the plant's capacity. Equipment availability is 75% due to Basin 3 being offline, preparing for planned maintenance. New chemical delivery system is being fabricated, and the technicians at the wastewater plant worked on electrical issues with effluent pumps. So they have been very busy in the month of September, and we just want to say thanks for all that you're doing to help keep the water flow and everything clean and safe here in our city. That's my report, barring any questions.
Anybody have any questions, comments? All right, thank you, ma'am, appreciate it. Next up, Planning and Development, Councilmember Richard Bowman.
Thank you, sir. During the month of August, as it relates to the development side of the department, there were 319 building inspections that were performed on developing projects. There were 17 certificates of occupancy, which goes along with inspections as well for the issuance of buildings being properly completed or repairs being completed and occupancy being allowed. There were 4 new business licenses issued. We always like to see new businesses here in the city. There were 60 building permits that were issued. On the code enforcement side, there were 32 overgrown vegetation cases. There were 54 cases as it related to the removal of signs from the right-of-way. And I always like to take a moment to remind our citizens that if you are putting out signs, which the signs in and of themselves may be legal signs or they're appropriate signs for whatever they represent, I would just want to remind everyone that they cannot be placed in the right-of-way. So always be sure that if you are placing signs, that they are not in the right-of-way, which is a violation, and the city ultimately has the right to remove those signs. There were 7 trash can violations, 2 inoperative vehicles. We've had some compliance with banners. We had none this month, Jack, so I'm sure we're glad to know that. As it relates to bulk waste violations, they were down to 3. Property maintenance cases, however, there were 8, which is an increase from the previous month. And fortunately, there were no civil matters, so we're glad to know that our neighbors are perhaps getting along well here in the city. I would like to, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I'd like to just also add that when we give these numbers so that people understand that when we read the numbers, when I read to you the numbers of violations, it doesn't mean that it's that simple to show someone that they have a violation. There is a process. So each one of these cases may involve multiple contacts as it relates to giving people an opportunity to correct violations, getting their responses, and giving them a fair period of time to do it depending on the type of violation. We had no animal nuisance violations, and well, we did have 10 parking violations. And again, a reminder to citizens, we do have codes and ordinances as it relates to parking, particularly on some of the streets in the city, and also things like blocking sidewalks that people perhaps will do. With that said, sir, that's all I have.
Thank you. Any comments or questions? All right, thank you, sir, appreciate it. Next will be General Services, Councilwoman Sylvia Martin.
Well, good evening, everyone. I'm going to start, first of all, with streets and sanitation. The litter crew collected a total of 116 33-gallon bags of litter from the streets and sidewalks during the month of August. Streets and sanitation collected a total of 144.02 tons of bulk and yard waste during the month. The streets department kept our streets clean by cutting the grass and cleaning the sidewalks and right-of-ways. They completed 19 service orders for the month. Our streets department also reported 8 inoperable city street lights to Georgia Power so that they could get them repaired. They issued 25 bulk trash yard waste violation tags for the month of August, turning 10 over to code enforcement for noncompliance. The 24 citizens calls were made for the month of August. The Streets and Sanitation also assisted with the cleanup of the retention pond at Bryan's Cove. They used the street sweeper to clean up city streets, collecting 5.56 tons of waste and debris. And that's almost, when you think about it, it's almost like overwhelming that they couldn't collect that much waste and debris for a month. Oscar Padilla was awarded the Employee of the Month for August. So again, congratulations, Oscar. It was well-deserved. And our Streets and Sanitation Department completed their CPR training. On the leisure and recreation side, the fields were used a total of 135 hours. There were 35 new contracts. The contracts returned with payment were 25, and new gym memberships were a total of 9. For tasks and responsibilities, of course, they're always busy maintaining the parks and city facilities. They, of course, cut the grass and edge and weed eated and cleaned the sidewalks throughout the city, maintained the flowers and plants throughout the city, maintained the golf carts. All the fields at Liberty Park and Goodell Park were dragged and chalked. They deep cleaned the Liberty Park Community Center, and the concessions area and bathrooms were cleaned and sanitized weekly. For facility maintenance, there was a total of 84 work orders for various facilities throughout the city that were taken care of, and fleet maintenance completed 40 vehicle repairs for the month. We have one huge event coming up, and that's our trunk or treat that's going to be held on October the 24th at Liberty Park from 6 to 10 p.m., and it's always a huge event. There will be vendors, candy, live music, a petting zoo, games, and inflatables. Now, make sure you watch Facebook and the City of Grovetown page so that you'll know about the traffic pattern that will be followed for the trunk or treat. Because it is a very big event, and there's lots of traffic on Newmantown Road, you know, people trying to get into the park. So watch for that traffic pattern, and we hope to see everybody there on the 24th from 6 to p.m., and it's called Spooky Trunk or Treat at Liberty Park. And that's all I have.
Well, thank you. Any questions or comments? All righty. Item 5E, administration will be covered during the director's report by Ms. Elaine Matthews. Next on the agenda, item 6, financial statement by our financial director, Assistant City Administrator Bradley Smith. But before he comes up here to answer any questions we may have, can I get a motion that we approve the financial statement as was presented?
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I make a motion that we approve the financial statement as written.
I'll second that motion.
Is there any discussion? All right, all those in favor, please signify by casting your vote. All right, motion passes. Item number 7, Employee of the Month, Ms. Elaine Matthews, our City Administrator.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. At this time, we would like to call Madison Dillard up to be recognized as our Employee of the Month for August of 2025. And and all her coworkers, if they'll come forward as well. They share in this. I'll give you a little bit of background on Madison. She began work in July of 2022, and even though she could have gone to other agencies that would gladly put her on the road at age 19, she chose to come here with the understanding that she would be assigned initially to dispatch, because she told me during her interview, or right after her interview, she wanted to learn dispatch first because she thought it was important that the association between the officers and the dispatch was critical to them, to survival sometimes, because that dispatcher is their lifeline. And so she mentioned that's what she wanted to do first, so we allowed her to do that. In a very short time, she became one of the best dispatchers that we have even to this day. When she went to the road, she excelled in her position as an officer, just as she had as a dispatcher. When we again became shorthanded in dispatch, she agreed to leave her road position and return back to dispatching because she understood it was for the greater good of the agency, more important than that to herself. Once again, we had to call on her to fill a shortage in the records division, and she gladly accepted this role again and stated that she knew it was for the benefit of the agency as a whole. In addition to filling that position, she has trained new hires and replacements for the positions, and we're proud to announce that this has taken place much quicker than we anticipated. The attitude displayed is remarkable for any employee, let alone one of her own age and tenure. She's a valuable asset to this agency, this city, and totally deserves this recognition, and that was submitted by the chief and her fellow officers. So Madison, we give you this. Award is given to Madison Dillard for your outstanding service to the citizens of the city of Grovetown. They did this day.
Yeah.
And you have a gift card on the back. Okay. Thank you.
Speech. No? Well deserved, well deserved. All right, next on the agenda are Vietnam Veterans Recognition. Councilmember Richard Bowman.
Thank you, ma'am. My favorite part of our council meetings. If Specialist 5, William Patterson, will join me at the microphone, please, sir. Welcome home, soldier. Thank you for your service.
I didn't want to do it.
But you did it. We all often do things that are not our favorite thing to do, but we understand duty and loyalty, and we thank you for that. Would you come and join us? You know her, right?
I picked her up on the way here.
Well, you superstars, there's a groupie, right? For all of you here, we're happy to have William Edward, Bill, I guess your friends call you, Patterson. Was born November the 4th, 1943 in Augusta, Georgia. Specialist Patterson entered the United States Army as a young man shortly after his 22nd birthday and was soon sent to support the war effort in the Vietnam conflict. Due to his specialty as a heavy truck driver and his designation as a 64 B-20, Specialist Patterson was assigned as a member to the 319th Transportation Company, deployed out of the CSRA. His unit became affectionately known as Troxler's Truckers, after their young captain, Drew Troxler,
and they were quite unique in that they all grew up as childhood friends from the same neighborhood, bringing them together as a close-knit unit even before seeing combat. While overseas, Specialist Patterson and his unit hauled over 92 short tons of ammo, rations, and other supplies to different divisions in Vietnam. This covered over 1 million miles, and they returned home with just one casualty in August of 1969. As a result of his services, Specialist Patterson has received the National Defense Service Medal, a Vietnam Service Medal with Bronze Service Star, a Vietnam Service Medal with 2 Bronze Service Stars, the Vietnam Campaign Medal with 1960 device, an Expert Rifle Badge, a Driver's Badge with bar, and a Meritorious Unit Citation as part of his work with Troxler's Truckers. Sir, it is an honor for the city of Grovetown to acknowledge your accomplishments. The city thanks you for your service and appreciate your sacrifices for the citizens of this country. We thank you, sir. On behalf of the mayor and the city council, again, welcome home.
Thank you.
That's wonderful.
That may be the first time anybody ever stood up for me. I do appreciate it. I was a reluctant soldier. I wasn't a professional. We were reservists, but we became professional real fast. And I drove a 5-ton tactical Army truck over 15,000 miles in Vietnam. And the total square miles of that little country equals about our state of New Mexico. It's a small place. But the roads were almost all dirt. Our convoys averaged 15 miles an hour. Very slow. We were hauling heavy stuff, mostly ammunition. And it was quite an experience. It was a complete surprise to us. I enlisted in the reserves in '64, and I'd served over about 4 years. I got ready to go to work one morning at the bowling center at Fort Gordon, where I was a manager or assistant manager. And my girlfriend called, not this one. I've only known her about 30 years, so this was long ago. And my girlfriend said, "Which unit are you in?" I didn't know what she was talking about. I was a civilian going to work at the bowling center. She said, "You have been called to active duty." I said, "What?" So it turns out Channel 12 in Augusta got word of this before our commander did. None of us knew anything about it, but sure enough, we were called to active duty. And we went over and stayed almost a year. And I guess the happiest day while we were over there was when we heard the news about when we were going home. It was done on the radio. Again, Saigon had a little radio station, and they broadcast, and I was listening to it one night, and they said, "President Nixon has approved a bill authorizing 6 Army Reserve and National Guard units to come home 6 weeks earlier than the standard 1-year tour in Vietnam." And that got my attention because we were reservists. And he named off 5 units. The 6th one that he named off was our company. And sure enough, we came home exactly 6 weeks less than 1 year in Vietnam. And when we got home, we all landed at Bush Field on an Air Force jet, and there were 3,000 or 4,000 people there to greet us. Nobody spat on us. Nobody said, "You're a baby killer." They were family members and friends and coworkers, a lot of people from Grovetown. The Fort Gordon Band, the Commanding General, the mayor of Augusta. I don't know who all else was there. I was so glad to get home. But that was it. And after I got old, I retired from the bowling center at Fort Gordon, and I had all this stuff on my mind, and I had the time. So there's still 40 or 50 of us from that company still in Augusta, and I started writing my memoirs on the computer, and I'd send it to them. And they encouraged me to write it in a book. I'd never written a book. I've written a book now. And if you stick around after the meeting, I might sell you one. I bought a few copies with me. But it is quite a story. And I talked too much, I'm sorry.
No, this is great.
Thank you very much.
You know, someone slipped me a note, by the way, and it wasn't Specialist Patterson who did, but I understood that you were an author, and that you had written a book, and I'm also told by this note, now you confirm it, I'm told that not only are you a writer, but you're also a movie star too, is that right?
Oh,
That
okay.
you're in a film about the 319th Transportation Company.
Yeah, I've got, I think, a 15-second part.
So
I got a couple of them here, too.
So he is both a writer and a movie star, and I'm sure you will. Those who are interested, you'll let them know how it might be available for them to vote for you for an Academy Award.
Oh, yes, sure.
Again, sir, on behalf of the city, we thank you for your service. And
Thanks a lot.
yeah.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Councilmember Bowman, appreciate it. And once again, sir, congratulations. Next up, item number 9, our business spotlight, Councilmember Sylvia Martin.
Good evening, everyone. Unfortunately, our business spotlight person is not able to be here tonight. He had some things come up at the business at the very last minute, so he sent a text saying that he wasn't going to be able to make it. But we do want to still go ahead and recognize him, and our PIO officer will take his certificate. So we'd like to recognize Wings in Philly tonight. Wings in Philly is located at 405 East Robinson Avenue, and they've been in business for just over 18 years now. 8 years. And simply put, they have become a local favorite here in the city of Grovetown. Known for their Philly cheesesteaks and, of course, their many different flavors of chicken wings, Wings in Philly is consistently serving hot, delicious, and quality food to the Grovetown community. That's not all, as they also offer a variety of seafood and other items, ensuring a mouth-watering experience for all. After almost a decade of business, they fell under new ownership in late August of 2025. However, as their new owner fully intends to maintain the amazing business we've all come to know and love. Their mission, as stated by their owner, is to provide and serve the best quality wings, Phillies, and more delicious fast food to their customers, and boy, do they ever. They are a favorite among our city employees who can regularly be seen standing in line on their lunch breaks, and a hidden gem known to many across the CSRA. With thorough cleanliness, fresh ingredients, and exceptional customer service, Wings in Philly is serving quality food with a smile to all. We appreciate them for their contributions to our business community, and we're proud to shine our business spotlight on them for the month of September 2025. The owner's name is Eddie Chin. So we'd like to recognize them, and I hate he couldn't be here tonight, but we'll make sure that he gets his certificate recognizing him as our business spotlight.
Thank you, Sylvia, appreciate it. All right, item number 10, citizen comments. I have one comment here. Marie Geary, and she wants to discuss the Grovetown Garden Club. So ma'am, come on down.
Goodness. Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, City Council members, my name is Marie Geary, and I reside at 973 Cannock Street here in Grovetown. And I'm up here because what you have coming on the Agenda 12B is basically what I'm going to try to do is give you a little background information on that, so that when you get to that point, you'll know who we are and what we're doing. I'm a member of the Grovetown Garden Club, which is a community-based group here in Grovetown. Since 2019, we've been coming together to connect community members who share a common interest in sustainable gardening and the use of native plants to support local ecosystems and pollinators. Our membership meets monthly for planning and education. The Grovetown Garden Club has had a presence in Grovetown with a number of garden projects, most recently the Blue Star Market located in Veterans Park in front of the Veterans Memorial Wall. As a community group, we focus on projects that would benefit the Grovetown community. This year, after much discussion and information gathering, we decided to put our energies into bringing a farmer's market to Grovetown. We contacted and met with Augusta Locally Grown, and were impressed with their mission and found it also meets our goals for the Grovetown community. They are a nonprofit organization that operates the Thursday Farmers Market at the Hub in downtown Augusta. If you haven't been there, it's a real treat. It's very special. And they also are involved with a number of other farmers markets in the area. The Grovetown Garden Club, in partnership with Augusta Locally Grown and the Grovetown United Methodist Church, are excited to bring to Grovetown a farmers market that supports local farmers and producers. The Grovetown Farmers Market will be held on the second Wednesday of the month from 4 to 7 p.m. in October, November, and December. Additionally, there is an online farmers market where online orders can be placed through Augusta Locally Grown with their farmers, the farmers in their network. Orders will be delivered to Grovetown every Tuesday evening for customer pickup. This is a feature that continues to help support our local farmers throughout the year. We are asking for the City of Grovetown to partner with us to truly make this a community event. We're asking that permit fees be waived if possible, that we're allowed to use the city logo just in the farmers market advertising, which is basically just a card, like a 3x5 card. And that we are included in community events, emails, and newsletters that the city puts out, just to include the farmers market as part of it. We expect that this market will bring a lot of people into Grovetown. We're hoping that it will. And they'll get an opportunity to share in our wonderful community here. It's a special community here in Grovetown. Thank you for allowing me the time to present the Grovetown Farmers Market to you, and thank you in advance for your support. Mr. Mayor Pro Tem and City Council members, do you have any questions for me? Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so you said that this would be the second Wednesday of each month from 4 to 7 p.m.,
Yes.
October, November, and December.
Correct.
And will that be held at the Methodist Church?
Yes, at the Grovetown United Methodist Church. That's correct, right here on East Robinson.
And then when you do the online pickup for Tuesday evenings, will that be the pickup location as well?
It will be, correct.
And what time will that
The
be?
pickup is, I think we're looking at 3 to 6 or 4 to 6. And that can be adjusted depending on what needs are and
Okay.
availability. So this is an all volunteer effort.
I think it's wonderful. I've been to the Hub, and it's very nice. Very nice.
We hope to have something like that here. That would be wonderful. Any other questions, comments?
Ms. Geary, the Grovetown United Methodist Church, do they have any involvement in it other than allowing you to utilize the location, or is there some other level of involvement?
No, that basically is the use of their location and their support as volunteers too in helping out. But there's no financial
Right.
exchange. This is, the people that work at are purely voluntary. We will have one farmer's market manager that has a small stipend that is paid through Augusta Locally Grown. But the rest is volunteers. Anything
So
else?
I have a couple questions for you,
Sure.
unless you want to go first, ma'am. So I have a couple questions. So, what is your expectation of city support?
Just to, basically, I know there's a lot of newsletters and events and little flyers and stuff that gets sent out by email. You have the email, you've got the heart to the city. And to include the farmer's market maybe in just announcing them that this, we have a farmer's market here in Grovetown and, all are welcome and that's it for advertisement of any kind from the city.
Because I guess I'm having a difficult time trying to wrap my hands around why you need to do an MOA or an MOU with us.
It's customary. It's been, in other cities, this is what happens. I know that there's a farmer's market in Deering, and that was how that came to be. It's the same model that we're doing here.
Okay. So my concern is for the almost 20,000 residents of Grovetown, when you put the city logo on something, guess what? The city becomes liable if anything happens up there. That is my big concern about this whole thing.
Right, and that's something that I think we can talk more about. And I know you have the city attorney that did look at the MOU, I understand liability, but I understand your concern with liability, but it is also a volunteer event that the city really doesn't have any investment in terms of volunteering or sponsoring, other than to say we support this community event.
Go ahead, Richie.
I was going to bring it up. That was my concern also. I was talking about liability. Because Ms. Gary, it seems to me, as soon as you strike, whether it's a contract or a memorandum of understanding, it suggests that there is some sort of a partnership, for lack of another term, between the city, and this one would be between the city and Augusta Locally Grown, which tends to suggest that we are a part of it, not just the fact that we've allowed them to, advertise, or have the city, say this is a great thing for its citizens. And I, like the Mayor Pro Tem, I believe, not that it probably won't be a great idea to have this available, but obviously it is important for us to be sure that the city understands what its position and responsibilities are.
I believe you have the MOU in your packets.
We do.
And it is outlined, it's fairly simply outlined what responsibilities are for the city, which is very simple. Just that there were three things basically that were being asked.
Can the city attorney speak to the MOU? Can you give us some, what is the legal ramifications? What is the best interest of the city in terms of from a legal perspective?
And we can do all these things here without an MOU, with the exception of, I don't know about using the city logo and the seal. That is that's a sticking point, because
I think we can put it on the city's Facebook page or web page, and I'm sure that will be enough to disseminate the information in terms of what they're asking for. But can you speak to it from a legal perspective?
Right. As far as the MOU itself, it's not really the legal part of it. It's, does this council want to do this? Do I think the MOU is necessary based on this arrangement of the parties? I would say no. You know, the MOU does not have a lot of content, as you can see. But, you know, I share the same concern as Mayor Pro Tem Blair. If our logo is on their actual physical advertisement, that's probably not something we want to do. But if you want to make our email and our social media and our city event list, include them, that's a pretty simple ask.
Yeah, it seems to me when you put your seal on it, you're doing just that. You're putting your seal on it.
It sure
And
looks
that-
like,
Yeah,
it sure
and-
looks like
yeah.
and smells like a
And-
partnership at that point.
Yes, it does.
And if we do it for one, we got to do it for everybody that comes forward.
Yeah.
Because we've set precedents.
Right. Again, not that this is, Ms. Geary, not that this is not a, potentially a good thing, but certainly we do not want to put the city in any compromised position. Because like I say, when you seal it, you seal it.
I think some of the understanding from the city at the beginning of this was that some of these food products were for a lesser income community. And I'm not sure if that's part of the program or not.
That's not what this
No,
sounds
I
like.
think it's
to
for
me.
everybody.
I can address
Yeah.
that, yeah, no, this is a real old-time farmer's market. These are actual local farmers with their
Right.
produce. One of the things that Augusta Locally Grown does, because they are a nonprofit, is they have the ability for those people that have SNAP benefits to double their benefits, to help them to be able to buy fresh produce. But that's not what the market's about.
Right.
It's for everyone.
Just my personal opinion, I think the club and the Methodist Church and Augusta Locally Grown can do everything you all want to do without an MOU with the city.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. And I can easily see us advertising this with Leisure, on the Leisure and Rec page, and on the city website page, and I think the citizens would love it.
And that's a huge help for us to get that piece where you get the word out. That would really help us a lot. As far as the city logo goes, I think that's not the number one thing on our agenda.
I don't think it will take long. The Methodist Church has great visibility.
Yes, yeah, that'd be a big sign.
Yeah, I'm gonna shout it out on Facebook on my personal page.
Yep.
I think it'll spread very quickly. It's much needed. Save me from having to go way over to Costco.
That's true.
And it's probably a lot cheaper.
Save me
And
from
probably don't
going down
have
to
the
the hub.
pesticides on it. I don't know if I should have said that part, but.
Yes.
Yeah, because, you know, I mean, I'm excited that you all are doing it. Don't get me wrong, because there used to be, some of y'all may remember the program called Bountiful Baskets that used to be here, and that kind of dried up and went away, and they used to do it over at the YMCA.
And you used to drive
Every-
over there and pick it up.
Every 2 weeks, you drive through and you pick up your veggies and whatever else that you got, so. But I don't think it's going to take long for this thing to take off. I mean, especially, you know,
I think it's going to be a big hit.
I think it is too.
Good, good. I'm
Do y'all have,
hopeful.
do y'all have watermelons with seeds?
I don't know. There may be some with, or certainly without.
I just want some watermelons with seeds.
Oh, all right, okay. All right. Is there anything else? Any other questions for me? Concerns? Thank you.
Miss Elaine Matthews, I know you wanted to say something.
I do have one question. If we're allowed to put this on Facebook, we explicitly need y'all's permission to do that. Okay.
Okay. All right, we have another gentleman, I'm sorry, another citizen, Chuck Simpson, you want to talk MOU?
Yes, sir. Sorry, I'm the program director for Augusta Locally Grown, Mayor Pro Tem, council members, city attorney. I overheard, obviously, some of those questions. I understand completely whether or not you choose to move forward with an MOU is entirely your decision, and I understand that. As far as liability goes, we do have liability insurance that is extended to our farmers markets. So in terms of what liabilities the city faces, those are virtually non-existent, okay? So from a monetary liability standpoint, that's not or should not be a huge concern. From a perception standpoint, completely understand that. What we have done is in the cities that we're in, so in Augusta, Richmond County, in Deering, the draw for the city is that this event is happening, and it is typically seen as a goodwill gesture for its citizens. So we like to afford the city the ability to actually put their stamp on it and take some credit for it. So that is one of the things that we want to do. The other thing is, as this grows, there is a parking lot that's owned by the city, I believe, across from the church. And so as this grows, we actually would like to be able to use that. And so just kind of forward thinking a little bit, the reason we ask for an MOU from the city is to actually partner with us in forward thinking some of those types of things. If there are, and I think we've even talked about business license, you know, if we need a specific business license to be able to operate the farmer's market in the city, that the city would actually help us accomplish those things. So those are the reasons we are asking for the MOU with the city to help us forward think. However, perfectly fine if we don't want to do the MOU but still achieve those ends. I'm perfectly happy with that, and I think that may be a fantastic way to handle this, to be honest.
Sir, if you'll allow me, and if you weren't finished, I don't want to interrupt you.
Yes, sir, I'm done. I get
But
what
I'm going to agree with you on one thing, and then I'm going to disagree with you on another.
Sure.
I'm going to agree with you from the standpoint that it's probably a good thing for the city. It wouldn't hurt the city's image for people to be saying, hey, you know, they have a farmer's market over in Grovetown. So I think that's good. What I will disagree with you on very strongly is when you said that you have liability insurance, so we have nothing to worry about. That if we are a partner, we have a lot to worry about regardless of how much insurance you have. So our concerns are, again, I don't think anybody, and I don't want to speak for the entire council, but I think what you're trying to do is seen as a favorable thing. But so often, oftentimes things that are favorable for one reason, the potential downside is too great to take that step.
Yes, sir.
So again, believe me, regardless of whether a partner has insurance, at the end of the day, if we're a partner, it's going to matter, and we're going to be looked at for liability.
Yes, sir.
When you were talking about, and thank you, Richard, and I agree with you wholeheartedly. I mean, I think this is a wonderful thing for the city, and I think it's much needed. I know we've tried in the past and haven't been too successful with farmers market. They've kind of died out, but I'm looking forward to this, and I'm hoping that it takes off and that we have folks that support it, because that's what's going to be key and crucial, is folks that support it. And I hope that it does take off, because I'd love to see, I mean, you're on one of the main avenues here in Grovetown, and I would love to see it take off and come by myself and order, from Friday to noon to Sunday at 9 o'clock and order my, my veggies and meat and bread and all that other stuff. But yeah, I have to agree with you, Richard. I mean, yeah, the liability, we become? We become another pocket, a deep pocket.
At least that's how people see us.
At least that's how people see us. And, we have been on the receiving end of many of lawsuits, which some we've been successful with, some we haven't. And we got to pay out and just move on. And, that's not fair to the citizens, putting them on the hook when, we could have another park or we could have something else, and we got to pay somebody because they fell in the courtyard and, going to a traffic ticket and they tripped on a pine cone and they sue us for $400,000. I mean, it's crazy. But the parking lot you're talking about across from the church, you're talking about the parking right, or are you talking about the courthouse?
Courthouse.
Courthouse, okay.
Yes, sir.
That's
Yeah.
our property.
Yeah, I don't see an issue coming saying, hey, could we use, as long as some prior coordination has been, I don't see any issue with it. you know. Yeah, no, well, I mean, they can, but it's for, they park there, yeah, first come, first serve, yeah, but I mean, we just can't, we can't rope it off,
You
yeah.
meant for parking, not to set up your operation.
Correct, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's good, yeah,
right.
but, so, okay.
Right. I have another question for Ms. Lane. You had said that if we wanted to advertise this, then the council has to approve it. So when does that need to be done? I mean,
Well,
I don't know when you do your newsletters or your event announcements, but just to include it with that, but if we're looking at the second Wednesday
in October.
in October, that's gonna come up fast. So I don't know if we could do a special notice. What's that?
Go ahead, Bradley.
So my major concern, Mayor and Council, is that currently we do not advertise for any other entity. We advertise for the city of Grovetown, and that's it. So I'm actually fully on board for us advertising it. However, I'm not going to put our staff in a position to where they have to decide who we're advertising for and who we're not advertising for. So tonight I'm asking, instead of vote number 2 as it's currently written, for you to make a motion to approve for Jordan to be able to post on our public websites, whether it be our actual website, our social media pages, including the general and services, general recreation one. We need your approval so that our staff will move forward with that. And as far as letters go, Ms. Geary, we do not have one currently scheduled. Jordan, when is our next one?
Newsletter should go out at the end of September. We do our weekly activities report.
We could put it in the weekly activities report and things like that. But again, without your permission, we don't currently have that practice in place, so I need you to tell us that it's okay.
So Elaine, before we move forward, I'm gonna ask this question. Before we move forward, do we need to come up with some kind of policy or procedures that we need to, or are you just happy with us? Because like you said, we're gonna have to have some criteria about yay or nay, because, you know, I can see the floodgates opening right now.
Well, I think you're setting the precedent tonight.
Oh, I'm gonna say it.
So you-
Jordan, what you got? Yes, please.
I think at this time, if it's okay with everyone, if we just could possibly table the discussion to have a quick meeting sometime maybe later this week or next week to determine what what it might look like for us to be able, as staff, to have that ability. Someone mentioned earlier if we move forward with this, the precedent that it sets for other groups and things of that nature for us, in which we, you know, it's hard for us to say no if we've done something for someone else.
Right.
I don't want to be in a position, whether an initiative is good, bad, or otherwise, whether we go through with that, I don't want to be in a position where we have to answer those questions for other folks as well.
And I don't want to put you or the
Right
staff-
here, we have a
Right.
pretty clear-cut policy, which I understand is puts folks in a difficult spot. But if we have the opportunity to discuss this in greater detail at a later date to kind of figure out what it might look like if we're given that permission as staff, I think personally that would be what I would like to see done. But
Jordan, I know you're looking out for yourself because you don't want your phone to be ringing off the hook tomorrow morning.
I'm trying to look out for all of us.
And, no, I'm messing with you. I'm saying that because I'm going to follow it by telling you I think your recommendation is on point. And not just because your phone may start ringing off the hook tomorrow morning, but just overall what we're actually saying, since we, as Mr. Smith has said, we don't do this for anybody else.
Yeah, that's my biggest concern.
At the point that we're going to start doing this, we need to understand and be clearly in agreement on just exactly what we are willing to do, and we need to make people aware that, yes, we're going to do this, but here are the parameters surrounding when we will or will not do it and the reasons why we will or will not do it. So I'm protecting you. You owe me.
That box of chicken wings. that
Yeah,
gotta get
you
tomorrow,
got it.
Give that certificate to the Wings
Sure.
of Philly.
Yeah.
And
So
again, regardless of the idea or what's presented, whether it's a good idea or a bad idea or et cetera, I just feel like we need to have some parameters in place of what it looks like should a person want the city to advertise on their behalf.
It's more than a notion, and I think
If I
it needs
ask
to
the
be,
question.
it needs to be treated that way. And that's not an objection, again, to the farmer's market.
Sure.
I'm looking forward to going
If I
myself,
may as well,
so,
I'll just say thank you all for coming and bringing that forward, and we certainly appreciate it, and I certainly don't want to rub anyone the wrong way. My, again, only concern is that we got to start somewhere, and if we're going to make a change in the way we do things, I'd like to have greater discussion involved in regard to what those changes look like.
Sounds good.
I think it makes perfect sense. Thank you, sir.
Yes, yes, sir.
That can be discussed later. In Ms. Geary's statement, she asked for a waiver of permit fees. We don't permit transient vendors. We issue business license, and it costs us $55 a year. Part of the conversation next week with staff needs to be I don't know if I have the ability to waive the business license fee. So that's got to be part of the conversation.
Okay.
Sounds fair. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Palmer. I guess we were a little out of order in diving into this thing at the
Well.
point that we did, but we had to dive into it at some point anyway.
Now we had to peel the onion back and get to it. Any other questions or comment, ma'am?
I have a question. Do we have a policy where we, that centers around private
And nonprofit kind of.
and
things.
nonprofit partnerships? Do we have a policy in place?
There's actually state law in
Okay.
place for that. So we
Okay.
can advertise not-for-profits or quasi-governments. We can actually advertise those with no, that's why you'll see a lot of stuff from like GMA or the Department of Community Affairs that we put up not too long ago.
Okay.
Or where Sheriff Columbia County or Harlem's ongoing. So anything related to that, that's actually state law and protected by state law.
Okay.
In this situation, even though they are not-for-profit, and I agree wholeheartedly that they'll serve our community well, they're not in one of those protected classes.
Got it.
So, I believe that's correct answer, correct?
That is correct.
Thank you.
Any final alibis? All right, well, thank you. Very, very good discussion. Item number 11, continuing on, general business old, we have none, so we'll go to item number 12, general business new. 12A, recommend approval to create one streets and sanitation right-of-way and sign technician position, grade 12, with a new job description. Our Human Resources Director, Mr. David Tolson. You want to come up and add anything final, sir?
No?
You gave a pretty good presentation during our work.
All right, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I recommend approval to create one street and sanitation right-of-way and sign technician position, grade 12, with a new job description.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I will second that motion.
All right, we have a first and a second. Is there any discussion? All right, at this time, please cast your votes. Yes, sir. Item 12, Bravo, the recommended approval of the memorandum of understanding between City of Grovetown and Augusta Locally Grown to organize and operate a farmer's market and online pickup location. We're going to table that at this time.
Need further discussion?
Yes, following the public discussion.
We got to bring it
yeah.
back.
Exactly. Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's why I table. All right, item number 13, our director's report. First up, I'm going to ask Miss Elaine Matthews, our city administrator.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem.
I'm sorry, excuse me.
Oh, that's right, we need to vote
Oh.
on the table, that's right.
right.
We did not.
All right, so can I get a motion, we table item 12, Bravo?
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I will make a motion to table item 12B, which is the recommended approval of a memorandum of understanding between the City of Grovetown and Augusta Locally Grown to organize and operate a farmer's market and online pickup location.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I'll second that so that we'll be able to bring it back up.
All right, we have first and second. Is there any further discussion? All right, all those in favor, please cast your votes of tabling. There you go. All right, so ordered. All right, item 13, Director's Report. We'll try this again. Ms. Matthews, hey, good afternoon, good evening, once again.
Good, thank you. We miss Mayor Jones and wish him well, that he will get to feeling better if he's watching. Our thoughts and prayers are with him. On Thursday of last week, we attended a chamber meeting. It was previously called like a community state of the county, state of the city address, and it was changed to Future Forward and then held in the daytime. And I was able to speak there for a very short period, and some of our other department heads were in attendance. So just wanted to let you know that we did attend that. The other issue that I need to bring up before you, October 13th, which is a meeting date for our next council meeting, is on a holiday. Actually, we're off a half a day that day, and the holiday's the next day. So I didn't know if you all wanted to move the meeting or.
Yeah, let's bump it.
Right.
I would.
So actually, Tuesday is the holiday, and then the Monday is the normal half-day prior to a holiday
Yes, sir,
that we
that's,
close City Hall. Is that correct?
that's correct. The next available date would be the 15th, which is Wednesday, the 15th.
I know, it's church.
That's church night.
Okay. Would you like to move it to the following Monday, which is October 20th?
I'm cool.
I thought we did that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, didn't we do this like last year?
What date did,
We noted last year for this year, is it?
Right.
She said so we wouldn't have to keep coming back.
yeah.
Right.
I don't, what date?
I don't remember.
I don't
That was
remember
like a
what
year
day
ago.
Okay.
But
If-
didn't-
if you
but
would,
did-
sir.
If we approve that, didn't we approve it to, thinking about Monday holidays and moving it to Tuesday versus, and does it matter that we'd be moving it to a week later?
I can't remember.
I don't remember.
Because it was, I mean, it was in December. It was like 10 months ago.
But the mo-
Okay, January.
to move it to Tuesday? Okay. Tuesday would be the 14th. The 13th is designated as Columbus Day, the holiday.
It is. That
Yeah,
Monday.
that's
According
what,
to my calendar, the 13th, the
13th.
Monday, is
Is
the
the
actual
holiday.
holiday.
Yes, and then
Yeah.
next month is
So
the,
so that then the Tuesday would be available.
I
It's
had it
different.
on my calendar already
okay,
for the 14th.
14th,
October.
okay.
okay.
Because
All
I go
right.
through the whole year and mark them, and I just looked at, just scrolled down on Tuesday.
Yeah, November is a half-day on the 10th, and 11th is the holiday.
That's right, yeah. So it's actually November that we may have an issue. It's not October, because October is it's standard Monday.
Well, do you remember what we did for November then?
I thought we moved it to Wednesday in November.
Still have it on Monday for November.
Yeah, we'll continue on, yeah.
All right. Also, I want to announce that our vacancy rate is now 8%. And that's the first time in several years that we've had a vacancy rate of under 10%.
That's great.
And of course, during COVID and during the hurricane and all the other things that were going on. So I did just want to share that with you. And David should be back in just a minute to see
Good to
what.
know that people want to work for the city of Grovetown.
Yes, sir. We're
And-
glad to
and-
have them, too.
I don't want to steal Jamie's thunder. But, police department, full up.
They're
We're
100%.
full up 100%.
We have a
First time.
dispatcher hire that will be starting in about a month, And other than that, they're full.
Yep.
100%.
We are 100% in the police department?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so November will be on the
That's what I
12th, which
thought.
is a
Yeah, I thought
Wednesday.
we moved it to that Wednesday because we brought up about church and said, we'll just have to miss
I'll
church.
just have to miss church
We have
that
to miss
night.
church for a Wednesday. I think they'll do
All right.
without us.
Any other questions?
I think we're good. Thank you.
Thank you.
So what are we gonna do about October? October will be on Tuesday the 14th. So we are gonna do Tuesday in October, okay.
The 12th.
The 12th, yep.
Both of these have been advertised, and there's no need to re-advertise.
So
Wonderful.
October will be the 14th.
All right, thank you.
And then November, you said it'll actually be on Wednesday. That'll be Wednesday, the 12th.
12, yep. All right, city clerk is not with us this evening. Human Resources. Mr. Tolson, you have anything? No, nothing else? Bradley, Finance. Anything from General Services tonight? Utility Services? Planning and Zoning. Anything else, Jack?
If we need to know, we don't want you to shut up.
Okay. First off, I'm going to update you on the comprehensive plan. We had our second stakeholder committee meeting, and that evening, we had a community outreach, which became very interesting, as Mr. Bowman will attest to. Spent several minutes, and I mean several minutes, talking to a young lady, and she had a lot of good ideas for the city, and we asked her to write them down, and by the end of the evening, she says, I'm going to come work for you. And I said, well, can you operate a backhoe, because we need a light equipment operator? And she turned around and walked away. The third stakeholder committee meeting and community engagement will be held in October. We will have our second and final public hearing for the comprehensive plan. After that, it will move over to Department of Community Affairs and the CSRA Regional Commission for their review and approval, and then we will finally come back to City Council for 2 readings and hopefully approve it in February. Grovetown Depot, if y'all been driving by there, you'll see the siding up on the cupola. That is a very exciting step forward. Site contractor is getting ready to install the parking lot. They're getting everything graded out. We're going to be laying down road base, and then hopefully asphalt will be coming in shortly after that. The inside of the building is coming along very nicely. The walls have been painted. If any of you would like to come take a tour, come find me, and because it is a construction site and you have to wear hard hats. So I'm looking forward to you. If any of y'all want to come down there and tour the building and everything, I'll be more than happy to take you around. Other than that, that is all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, Jack, before you go away, what's are we still on a November completion?
November the 14th.
For the completion of the depot?
The general contractor said they are still holding fast to that November 14th date.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Just in time for our council meeting.
Yes.
He didn't get the joke. Okay. Thank you, sir. All right. Chief Kitchens, Police Department.
Good evening. I've bullet pointed this, so I'm going to try and fly through it. Our 4 new Explorers are down at Dana. They were delivered down Friday. So again, I would like to thank everybody on the council for that, for the constant replenishment of our vehicles. I've said it before, but people ask me all the time, man, how do y'all do that? And I said, it's people way smarter than me, but I can point you in their direction. So that is a huge thing for us. They'll be probably, I'd say, 2.5, 3 weeks out. We'll start seeing them come up here. We'll get them, the graphics and all that put on them. And we will be rotating out the last of our Tahoes that are in the fleet. As the Mayor Pro Tem stole my thunder, as you said. We are fully staffed. The last new hire that we had in, Officer Solt came in. He has gone into the FTO program. We had two of our other recent hires come out of the FTO program. Officer Alexis Hughes and Matthew Transu both came out of the FTO program. Captain Powell, a couple of weeks ago, went to the 2 weeks chief school and graduated. Very proud of him for that. That was a huge accomplishment. Sergeant Rodman in CID has begun going through the various modules for our ICAC, Internet Crimes Against Children. As y'all know, we are part of the GBI's task force, so he will be another body that is on the ICAC team, if you will, and has met all of their requirements. This morning, I was a little bit proud. This weekend, we had I wouldn't call it a rash, but we had several suspicious attempted motorcycle thefts. And that's not just something that happened, so we knew that we were probably looking for one or maybe more individuals. Well, then they also grabbed a golf cart over the course of the weekend, but we were able to recover that this morning, and we were able to apprehend the gentleman that was responsible for that, and we believe that he is also going to be our motorcycle culprit. So he is out at the Holiday Inn West out there on County Camp Road, and will be there for quite some time, as Burke and Richmond have warrants on him as well. So they're looking for him too. This past Wednesday night, we came out and did our monthly proactive patrol. We're out for about 5 hours. In that time, we did 52 traffic stops, wrote 14 citations, issued 42 warnings. We're able to remove 2 uninsured vehicles from the roadway, as well as 2 individuals that were driving with suspended licenses. So I'm going to parlay into, when I was looking at our numbers for the month, we did, for the entire month, last month, we did 270 traffic stops. And when people say, oh, they're just out, I know I'm preaching to the choir when y'all know that we don't have quotas and y'all know that we don't get money off of tickets, but that's always been the notion that the public has, is that, you know, oh, they must need some money, so they're out writing tickets. But we did 270 traffic stops. We had 9 thefts for the month in the city, which goes back to what I say, blue lights do deter crime. And I don't care where you're at, I don't care what city you're in, blue lights deter crime. And we are going to continue to be proactive in that. And you can look at the numbers. We did 52 stops. We only wrote 14 tickets. So we're not out here pencil whipping people. But if you're a criminal coming to our city, you don't know whether that person's getting a ticket. You don't know whether they're getting told, hey, you need to fix your brake light. All you know is when you turn on every major thoroughfare for 5 hours coming into Grovetown, somewhere you're seeing blue lights. And it was probably in your best interest to go do your crime somewhere else. And that is what we want to convey. So, and in addition to that, we had only 18 accidents that we worked. So I would say that our proactive traffic enforcement goes hand in hand with the fact that we only had 9 thefts and we only worked 18 accidents, which is roughly 1 every other day. So with that, I could bore you with a whole bunch of other numbers, but I think I covered the high points. If anybody has anything. Nope.
All right, thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
Chief Kent, Fire Department. I'm sorry, Fire Rescue Department.
Good afternoon. Just to update you on our August call totals. We had 35 fire-related calls, 63 medical or rescue-related calls, for a total of 98 calls for the month of August. That brings our year-to-date through August 31st to 877 calls for the fire department. A large portion of our last month, as you've seen us have Jordan post a lot, we've been out testing and flushing fire hydrants. That's part of our program to make sure that they are working. That way, if we encounter any issues, that we can get that right over to the water department. And we've sent some over, and they get right on there and get that taken care of, you know, because we don't want to find out 3 a.m. in the morning something's wrong with the fire hydrant. So we'll continue to be doing that probably another month or so. It's moving fairly quickly this year, so we hope to close that out soon. Our medical director, Dr. Becky Abel, she came out and completed a capnography and end-tidal CO2 training class for all personnel. That's part of our new monitors that we've received that allows us to put in advanced airways. We'll be doing some more training on advanced airways. So that will allow us one more thing that we can do prior to EMS's arrival. And part of that, we like to congratulate firefighter Presley Barbie and firefighter Michael Hill on the completion of their basic EMT training. It was part of an EMT class that was coordinated through Columbia County Fire Rescue. They've passed all their written and practical exams, and they have now applied for the Georgia state license. So we're just waiting for the paperwork to clear, and they'll have their license for that. And along with that, we want to congratulate Captain Charlie Proctor. He went the next step up. He completed his advanced EMT class, and he applied for his advanced EMT license through the state of Georgia. So we want to congratulate him also. We would like to also say that the fire department is full staffed. We have all our full-time positions staffed, so there's 8 personnel on all 3 shifts right now, along with our administration staff. So, of course, we carry a floating area of up to 12 part-time employees for fire rescue. So that kind of changes, you know, being part-time employees. But we're happy to report that we have all our full-time slots filled. Over the last month, we've also had a little bit of time to train with our new standpipe training prop that we purchased recently. That allows us to practice various things like sprinkler systems that's in buildings that you can't really go out and practice in a building and turn their sprinkler system on. We can actually go out in the field behind the station and use this prop for the firefighters to train on how to stop the sprinkler systems and also how to hook to what we call standpipe systems. And that's what you'll see like in the stairwells of hospitals, apartment buildings, and different buildings like that. So this allows them to make that connection and deploy their lines from this prop. So that allows us not having a training facility. This allows us to roll it out there, connect to it. You can actually use it like it was connected to a building. So it will take all the pressure we can pump to it and is a more lifelike experience that they can have. All right, let's see. Update on siren installation. So all the sirens have been installed and connected to power, whether it be Georgia Power or on-site power. So tomorrow, our contractor will be here to install the last piece of it at the police department. It's a satellite dish that connects us with the National Weather Service. Once that's done, on Wednesday from 12 to 1, you will hear them sirens go off several times. We will be testing them. They're rated between 3,000 and 5,000 feet, so we'll see just how loud they can get. We just want to point out the sirens, they are part of the notification system. So it's not just sirens that you need to pay attention to when there's severe weather forecasted for the area. It's just a piece of it. You know, we still want people to tune into their NOAA weather radios, their phone apps, the hyper reach through Columbia County EMA that has that available. We'd like everybody to sign up for that. So you get a lot more information through that. So, but you will hear them come Wednesday. So we just want to prepare everybody for that. And finally, just a little update. We've been 2 months past our transition to fire dispatching with Columbia County Fire Rescue for the fire department dispatching. Transition went very well, very smooth. We put out over 7,000 door hangers to notify the citizens. Jordan's posted a lot about it. We was constantly promoting this and telling everybody about it. So we've not seen or had fielded any calls at the fire department level, and I think there may have been just maybe 1 or 2 questions at City Hall's level, but nothing out of concern. It's went extremely well. But it has allowed us access to a couple new things that we have available to us in the fire trucks. The CAD system, as we call it, that's the computer-aided dispatch that's being used for us as the fire department. We can actually see all the ambulances now that's on the map, all the other fire trucks around the county, and this computer system knows who's the closest. For example, one of our stations was out getting fuel at the Circle K at the end of Robinson Avenue. Well, this computer system said, well, that's the truck closest to this call in Summerfield. Well, that wasn't the truck that's normally stationed on Robinson Avenue. It was the truck from the other station just getting fuel. Well, it knew to dispatch that truck that was at the fuel station. So it's going to send the closest unit. And it does that with EMS also. And they just also implemented a program called ProQA that allows the dispatchers to go through when they have a medical call they are giving instructions to the patient or the bystander. And we're seeing all them notes in our computer systems in our fire trucks. So we have access to all that, along with also being able to see all the nearby fire hydrants. So if we go into a reported fire, we can know how far the fire hydrant is. Is there one in front of this house, or is it 1,000 feet down the road? You know, and we can see how much sooner the next fire truck is coming behind us, or if we're approaching the intersection at the same time with one. So them are just some of the avenues that's been opened up to us to be able to see it. So that's been a great thing. So in a few months, we'll have the final piece of it, which would be the station alerting system. That'll be placed in the station. Some of the parts come from overseas, so it takes a little while to build this. It's quite the experience to order all this stuff and then they put it all together. So once all the parts gets here, and it'll be programmed for us, it will be literally hardwired via the fiber optic system from our stations back to the 911 center. So it will communicate via hardwire and via voice data over the airways. So it gives us two ways of being acknowledged by the 911 center, and if one of those goes offline, it shows an alarm on the dispatcher's console. So that will allow us to make sure we're connected to them all the time. And then, of course, on the firefighter side of things, it is what they call heart-friendly tones. So the tones, instead of just a clanking of the bell going out at 3 a.m. and scaring you out of the bed, well, they said that's bad for us, you know, bad for the heart. Well, this will, what they call a ramp up. It will start soft and get louder, and the lights will come on. And the lights, they have red, blue, and green lights based on the type of call systems. So the lights will come on based on that. But it won't be that shock to the system at 3 a.m. that you get, and then you're just confused about what is going on here. So I just wanted to kind of bring you up to date on that. Barring any questions, that's all I have tonight.
Chief, I have just one question.
Yes, sir.
More out of curiosity, and I think you told us when you did it, but I just as a reminder, you were mentioning the fire hydrants.
Mm-hmm.
And we want them to work if we need them. What was it, the difference because of those circular tags that you put on them? They're in different colors. What does that mean about, you know, is this fire hydrant better than that fire hydrant? What does that mean?
Yes, sir. That's the flow rates of that fire hydrant. It's based on an NFPA color code. So blue's the best, but just because you have different colors don't mean it's a bad hydrant. It just kind of tells us what it's rated at through a hydraulic calculation.
So that you know what to expect when you arrive on scene.
Yes, sir. So depending on what type of fire, how bad the fire is, if this one has a red tag on it, we may need to connect to 2 fire hydrants versus 1. But if this one has a blue on it, depending on how much fire we see, we know it will supply us at least, say, 1,500 gallons a minute at a certain pressure. So that gives us an idea of what we're faced with.
When you arrive, you know right away what you're faced with.
Yes, sir. And they'll know how much water comes from that hydrant, or if they need to make an alternative plan to say, we're going to need an additional hydrant, or do we need even a tanker, depending on, you know, what type of hydrant it is.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Any other questions? All right.
Thanks, Chief, appreciate it.
Mhm.
PIO, anything additional? Last but not least, you know I got to ask, you got anything there, City Attorney? Nothing? All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, at that time, that concludes the director's report. At this time, we're getting ready to enter into a closed session for a real estate acquisition. You are more than happy to hang out and stay here. I can't tell you if we're going to be a couple minutes or a couple hours. So sometimes these closed sessions get pretty spirited. So if you so desire, you're more than welcome. Please join us again next time. But before we do, as we wrap up, I want to remind everybody that this Thursday marks the 24th anniversary of September 11th. So I'm just reminding everybody that, you know, come Thursday, let each of us take a moment that day to remember those that perished that day. Remember the heroes that stepped forward, not only in the towers and in the Pentagon and in Pennsylvania, but, you know, those that stepped up afterwards to donate blood and to help out those that were in need. And, you know, just remember the resilience that we came together as a nation, the resilience that we had in the aftermath of that tragedy. And as always, just keep the families of those that were impacted forever in your thoughts and your prayers. So with that, I'd like to entertain a motion. We close the regular session at this time and enter into an executive session.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
A second.
All right, this time, let's enter into executive session. All right, I don't entertain a motion. We enter back into regular session.
Mayor,
Well, I'm sorry.
I'll
Make a
second.
motion, we enter
All right.
back into.
So at this time, we're entered into, back into regular section. During our closed session, I will just report that there was no action taken. So at this time, anybody got any questions or comments?
No.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second?
Mr. Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, I will second that.
All right, we are adjourned. Thank you very much. You all have a blessed evening.
You too.